UIFPD professional is number 372, Garrett Firestone.
All right, good morning. Good morning. It is, I believe, 6:30. I've been up since 4:30. But we are going to get after this week 5 update. Apologize for the week 4 skip, but stay tuned. We'll get some posing in for my check-in photos and then go over all my numbers and what my week 5 look like. Stay tuned. Alright guys, as you saw, my check-in photos already sent over to Ben, just waiting on a response for that. Just breaking down my numbers this week. I woke up at 239.9 this morning, which is half a pound up from last week's average, even though my average this week was just over 240, but we're staying in that 239 to 241 range, so just fluctuating 2 pounds. Blood pressure's come up a little bit, but nothing crazy. I believe I'm averaging like 116 over 70. The biggest concern this week was my fasted glucose. So the average this week was in the 90s, and that's not where we want it. But I have failed on my end as the bodybuilder to take my supplements as required. So we'll just leave that as that. It's fully on me. I take responsibility. And if you can't take responsibility for what you failed to do in the sport, well, sport's not for you. Sleep also came down. I averaged 7.5 hours of sleep this week. Like last night I got just under 7. But Ember was having nightmares all night. So 3 or 4 times, well, what we believe are nightmares. So 3 or 4 times woke up screaming, and got to go check on her. Can't just let her scream. So ended up around 4:30 in the morning. She had another little scare, went in there and couldn't go back to sleep. So got up, got some shit done, checked in. She's still asleep now, so it's kind of nice being able to get stuff done in the morning. And overall, this week, significantly better, regardless of all the travel. Been back and forth to San Diego 2 or 3 times this past week. About to go for another 3 days next week. Excuse me. Which I don't mind. San Diego's beautiful. Been going to the compound. Shout out to the compound. And it's a beautiful gym. It's kind of where I've been going when I travel to San Diego, so got a lot of content coming out from that gym specifically. Speaking of training has gone significantly well. I'm starting to truly connect with everything again. My body feels like it's recovering finally. So I'm able to get in the gym, I'm able to push, I'm able to wake up the next day. I'm not rolling out of bed like, an 80-year-old man. So my joints are feeling a lot better. I've lost that water retention I was holding for a while there, which makes specifically in my lower back hip area. So I feel a lot more nimble. I'm not, but I feel a lot more nimble, and that's all that fucking matters. So training, we've been able to start pushing it a little bit, even though none of my drugs have increased. My food has not been touched. We're going to keep it here until after my surgery, which is slotted on September 15th. I got that locked in earlier last week. So we'll be getting that done. And we will be, like a 4 to 6 week recovery period for that. But I should be able to get in there and hit legs a little bit, which I have not hit in the past 3 to 4 weeks. So when you guys see my check-in videos, just know I haven't hit legs in over a month. That's just been bike cardio, 20 minutes a day. My legs respond extremely well. They're the most powerful muscle group. And so there are times when I don't train them for weeks at a time. And as you've seen, my physique start to balance out because of that. My upper body is starting to, I wouldn't say become more dominant, but fill in the gaps where they need to be filled. So we're gonna add legs back in just because I'm itching to hit them. I'm itching to move them a little bit. And then just kind of hit them while I recover from the gyno surgery. Mental health this week, significantly better. So we added in a little bit of aromasin last week to kind of, we pulled tests and estrogen last week or 2 weeks ago. Blood markers decided to just a little bit of control, just because for me personally, I feel better, right? And when it comes to drugs, guys, yes, bloods matter a lot, right? That's how we can, not guarantee, but we can try to solidify what we do with safety measures. But ultimately, it comes down to how you feel. So for me, my E2 was, I believe, 60, with my test sitting around the 1450 range, which is a good ratio. I think it was like a 24-to-1 ratio. But I personally don't feel good like that. I've ran my estrogen up all the way to 80 before, and I just get fucking sloppy, and the water retention starts to get a little bit too much, and I feel tight. So we added in a little bit of control there. And whether it's placebo or not, I don't really care. I'll find out on this next blood test, but I feel significantly better. And that's all that matters to me sometimes, as long as my health markers aren't wildly out of range. But on that blood test, we got another full panel done yesterday to actually check post-show everything completely. So when those come in, I'll let you guys take a look at them. I'll put them up on a screen, go over a little bit of them, kind of what we're looking at and the direction we plan on going. Ideally, I come back healthy, or as healthy as can be, which I don't think anything should be skewed too drastically. Being on a TRT base, and taking all my health supplements, we should be right in striking distance of being completely ready for a push phase, which has to come after the surgery recovery. But we want to get bloods done just short of 5 weeks post-show. So we'll wait for those results to come in. Usually take about a week for me. Week five. Overall, it was a good week. Not really much to go off of in terms of talking about. It's just a smooth week. It's just one of those weeks where I was a bodybuilder outside of, missing my supplements, which is on me, right? Meals were hit, training targets were hit, cardio was hit, step work was hit, sleep declined a little bit, but for the most part, my sleep feels like it got better. I actually pulled edibles out, so I don't take edibles pre-bed anymore. I got D-sip back in, peptides, or a peptide helps with sleep. So I have D-sip that I'm bringing back in, X Factor, Labs, code EARN10, save 10% off, help your boy out. But yeah, overall, really good week. Not a whole lot to talk about outside of just I was a bodybuilder, and bodybuilding is boring. That's why it doesn't. That's why it doesn't get the likes. It doesn't get the views I think it deserves. Right? I love this shit, but overall, yeah, good week. So we're going to kick it up a notch a little bit with training, bringing legs back in. Travel to San Diego for a little bit of vacation in the beginning of the week, so I'll get some good training out there. And plus it's beautiful, so I'll be able to survive a little bit longer. But yeah, that about wraps up week 5. Once again, apologize for missing week 4. Super busy recently, especially with the drop of the clothing this past Wednesday, which I guess I could talk about a little bit. Drop went well. I wouldn't say it was what we wanted. However, it was not a negative either, right? It was just very right in the middle. But we know we've got to be better on our end in not only, promoting, marketing the brand, but ultimately selling a story, selling what the brand is, and bringing you guys in to, I don't want to say to our lives, but into the brand itself, and kind of integrate you guys that support me personally, and kind of want to see the brand explode as well. So we're going to start working with some professionals in the marketing field. We already got videography, photography taken care of between Brian and Havana and John when he's not fucking busy with his realtor shit. It's well handled by them. And then bring in marketing expert for, Instagram, Facebook, SEO, optimization kind of shit. Maybe have someone come in, clean up the website a little bit, and really solidify what we want to do as a brand. And then we're going to sit down and kind of map out the next month or two in terms of how we want to approach the social media side of things. As, like I mentioned, we want to start really, selling is the wrong word. We want to, I guess, bring you guys along for the ride, and really have you guys feel like you're a part of it, which you are, right? Like, so today we're celebrating, what I was able to accomplish 5 weeks ago. However, it's more than that. Everybody that was there was invited today, but I got clients coming, friends that support the clothing brand, right? So it's kind of to give back to everybody who supports me. And Havana, of course. So we're finally doing that today as well. Finally celebrating the pro card. It took me a couple weeks to kind of come to terms with what we actually did, right? Like I've mentioned before, it hasn't changed shit outside of, how I feel in the gym. I feel different. I feel better. I feel more alive. I feel like everything I've done the past 10 years is finally kind of been solidified, and now I just got to prove I belong, which is always the fun part of bodybuilding is actually, the work and the steps you got to take to get to that goal. So, finally get to celebrate that today. Gonna let loose a little bit. Got some food being catered, got some snacks on the table already. And gonna be surrounded by everybody that I love. So it'll be a good day. But anyways, I'm gonna keep rambling if you guys don't shut me the fuck up. So there's my week 5 update. Once again, thank you guys for all the support, all the love. I know it may not seem like you guys, make a difference with one like, one comment, one share, one subscription, but it makes a world of difference to me. Every day, I wake up and I love what I do. And it's because you guys assist in that feeling with all the support you give me. And I know sometimes we feel as an individual that we don't make a difference. I promise you we do. And even if one person makes a difference in one other person's life, if we continue to do that as human beings, all of us will make a difference and the world will become a better place. But before I start crying, thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys. Hope to see you next week right here for the week 6 update. And remember, go fucking earn it.